both teams have these sort of implosions at times where they've disappeared off the face of the earth. The Steel was sort of saying,
oh yeah, we just watched
like
the implosion.
We
Definitely just witnessed an implosion the game before this for sure. Okay, KCorp on defense, Koi on attack.
Warfare, you have to think that his historical delves don't go, at least go a little bit deeper than that.
Early camera will spot all of this.
Battles here. Everybody has
How
a few
many
more
does
than
it
just
see?
the one loaded in the barrel. But that's not true, actually. They have one loaded in the barrel. The rest are in a magazine. Otherwise, gun and
It's a nice
but
molly.
For Koi, this attack side is going to be pretty quick. Already breaching through mid into market, but the site still hasn't been acquired. And for KC, I'm surprised it's so passive. They are looking to take those headshot angles, but it hasn't worked out. Losing Tamazi already. No Viper's wall to help them on the way back through. Good nade, good damage. KC coming ahead by a little bit in those fights.
Yeah, a few low players, but ultimately when it comes down to the pistols, a few stray bullets can be enough to turn the round on its head. Time ticking as the 5th man to this Koi roster. And that paranoia is sublime, so blind, but the trade has come through.
Satchel was pretty good there.
Even for now, the HP diminishing, and the Ray is just taking
Yeah, he gets everyone.
4 kills.
Damn, nice start from them.
A sublime
He's
start for him.
two away from his ult.
Really nice stuff for Narrate. Confidence build around is what
and
that
what's
is.
their round difference now, Mitch?
One higher.
No,
one
I mean,
higher.
what about for Koi?
One lower. There you go. You're welcome,
Perfect,
Tom.
thank you.
I pulled it up. So yeah, Koi. Oh wow. I saw Koi was in the negative, and I was sort of hoping that my memory was wrong. It was like a -4 or something. They're -11. So for them to win this is going to be, I mean, you need to stop KC pretty much
plus
now.
15. I think it's a. I'm not make. I read that somewhere.
They need to be,
I didn't work it out. So if it's wrong, it's not my fault.
So they need to do a remarkable job at chipping away at those rounds, and it is a 15 because Vitality would be +4. Obviously, if they win by a long shot, Carmine will lose their lead. Nice shots by Martin. Seemed like he was still running, but the effect wasn't there. Clicked right on the head. And for Martin, another orb as well acquired. Nice defense to start this off. And with pistols, I mean, I feel like that was the worst case scenario. You swing a corner, you see 4 pistols staring at you. Often that's not going to go quite as well.
Yeah, we've already seen a few of those rounds in our earlier matchup. Nonetheless, even just a decent defensive start. Like we are talking about like them needing like a 13-5, 13-6, something absurd to really get those rounds up. And
yeah, but then it's not a good.
Almost just fighting to help out Vitality.
These pistol.
13-5 and 13-6, pretty much, right? You need to have those
It was
convincing results.
It was KCorp's first pistol of the day, though.
Build up those 15 rounds that are in difference right now. Vitality have that lead to play with. Now, if you're on the side of KC in this round, you don't want to see too many losses. It has been clean to kick it off. This is where the pistols do get dangerous, and I like it, Magnum. So the reason I was worried, he gets real close to that angle, and you know Grabinho, we've seen him before, he likes to get that little bit aggressive, and with weaker weapons you're going to, but they took a few steps back, created some extra distance, let Koi step in, and shut them down. Very nicely played for the second round.
Yeah, and Andalucia flawless coming through for them. It's also been interesting because obviously you've got everybody sort of hanging around at the moment. I got to chat with both of the coaching staff of KC, and both of them I was like, really good chance to get to playoffs, and they went, we just want to play. Like we want to play as many games as we can. Obviously the league minimum matches is something that a lot of teams are worried about, and they're like, yeah, we're probably going to get to play like 5-6 matches in this tournament. We make it to playoffs, we get to play another. And I was like, yeah, it'd be cool to get to Madrid though. He's like, not really thinking about it. And there's a part of me that goes, yeah, right. Like, come on, you're thinking about it a bit, but at the same time, it does seem like...
Okay, big buy run for Koi, and they got to go up against the fish.
Maybe being an Na'Vi
Fish on fish.
Wonderful, but they want to improve on themselves. I believe that most with KC and people like Egg.
Well, I think I like that element of it for a number of reasons that will probably touch on later. I was expecting maybe Magnum to stick around to try and get more out of this position, but once that trap is destroyed, yeah, he's back. He's out of there.
Oh, that's a nice fish at the moment. Yeah, just to clear over towards middle. They can go pick this one up.
Through the smoke, you're about to see a
I kind of like this idea, though.
Swinging in, a triple swing to the spawn.
Koi?
A fight that KC weren't quite expecting. And the stun is dodged.
Yeah, at least learning a little bit from before.
Player, but he'll be forced back by the cage. They've bought some time to get into post plants.
In super aggro.
Yeah, they've retrieved the thrash.
Yeah, so they lose mid control, realize they're going to go heavy to kind of collect the fish itself, and they just try and get numbers back over towards Boba.
A little bit of a recon dart thrown out. A lot of different flashes and utility being expended. Shin's done well. leaving it down. Starzo getting decayed every time he goes through and left on to just 40 HP anyway. They're in a great spot. He's got to hope that he
Tally
can
with the prime. Thank you so much.
In the meantime, he's trying to fight Shin. They've just defused. Nothing that Starzo could do. An easy round for KC in the end. And they're going to try and take this gun away.
Yeah, that's very nice. No guns into this one as well. 2,900 loss bonus. They're all about 3-4 with the plant.
Again, a team we're talking about, and they know this. They're very well aware they need to be dominant in this victory with the format that we're in. And for them to start out 3-0 down on Koi, losing out on an important round, the one upside that we can draw from it, as we'll see once we get out of these replays, they are able to scrape together another buy. And with ults almost online, in particular Starzo and Shadow just one away, they could recover this round and attempt to play hyper-aggressive.
That's like the second time we've seen that, where the stun just doesn't... Because it's just like a preemptive stun, and it's over towards sides. It feels like there's always positions for it. And it's twice now we've seen a team just get into a position that doesn't get stunned and then just can get the kill. And then you just have Camo in the open.
The utility
just getting wrecked.
For Camo wasn't particularly good. It was just that he was winning a lot of the fights anyway. Like, you'd see a stun, you'd see a power.
Yeah, it feels like you should. Feels like you could do Prowler stun. Yeah, they should have variations of this basically.
Nothing hits Martin. He wrecks him.
I think if you go back as well and look at some of the setups that we saw in the last game,
in terms of what I'd run, looking back at this, I would run double controller on this map these days.
Basically being caught in what I'd call the danger zone.
I would be tempted to run no duelist. I would at least try it in practice.
You can easily close the distance, take those fights up close, and decimate your opponents. And you don't want to be in that danger zone early unless you're ready to fight. One thing we've seen here is, oh no, okay, just the one. Just the one and he's out. So that's an advantage for the retake at least, but Rolling Thunder is online for Koi. They'll have to get so much value out of it if they use it. But in a round like this, Tom, you'll be tempted to. The economy is on the line.
Yeah, the fact is this was a retake setup. All that was needed was to confirm that advantage, and yeah, I don't think Shadow's even going for this. It might do now, though. Getting a kill back again, the Dizzy is just sublime. The utility out from Narrate is great. They're going to use it here.
2v4.
Huge, and he gets nothing. Absolutely
2v4. Oh man, this is a done deal, man. This is a done deal.
I can't believe how little they got. I at least expected them to get one.
Yeah, I mean, the Rolling Thunder's
2v4,
used,
they
though,
used the
catches
ult.
one player close.
What is Koi today?
There's only 2 players alive. One is using the ult, the other's closer. They hear 2 players push.
Yeah, bro, look how easy this stun is to dodge.
It should be easy, but Magnum is there. He's further back, and that ult, the Rolling Thunder, as you can see, it just doesn't reach him. It doesn't even come close. So he's able to cover them, take that kill. It could have snowballed. If that first frag is found onto Magnum, things fall apart. But the thing is, when you hear that player, close left corner, land on the ground, you go, oh, I'm swinging. I know where my crosshair is going. You're not
Liquid
ready for
losing to
Magnum
this.
no
Koi looked better,
taking the fight.
but it is
4 in a row,
concerning me a little bit as well.
Koi
I agree.
Had no trouble in getting onto sites.
Like, Koi looked way better yesterday, but it does. Don't get me wrong. I'm a little bit on board that I'm slightly worried.
Maybe looking to try and pick up the pace a little bit here. Starzo's actually been spammed a little bit through that smoke. And the Prowler may have gone through. I believe it. No, it actually hasn't destroyed a trip. They placed it in a different position this time, so it's actually done nothing.
But it does look like a real off day for Koi, but
I think the chances of this being a clean game have quickly diminished, and at this point, Koi almost have to just look at this as, let's get around. Let's get onto the board, because we've already witnessed this once. But this time they're on the attack. This is the side they were better at last time. Right now, they are being bullied by the side of KCorp. Building up into what looks like an A-take. The thing is, I really like KC in their retakes. They've been fantastic.
yeah, I mean, their retakes are outrageously good on this.
From Narrate have been perfect. Some of the best Gecko I've seen throughout the tournament.
Yeah, I think maybe they played Gecko one of the best that we've seen.
Starzo in this duel, 63 HP, already being spammed. Daddy's up close though, good damage done.
Not this again.
Well, it's not quite gone
Not this again, twice in one day.
That's not too bad. The showstopper trade +1, but then the kills come KC's way, and a big performance needed by Shados. 2 opponents to take down. They could be defusing. He doesn't know. And with the reveal, he was pushed back. Good shot to follow up, though.
Close.
He will not find it. Tamazi just about gets that across the line for the side of KC. It looked like it was going to be a much cleaner round, but with 5-0 on the board, they won't be breaking any sweat just yet.
I want to know, like, this would be someone absolutely wasting their time, but is this the most times in a tournament we've seen people kill themselves with a showstopper? Because I feel like it's up there. Like we saw Zipan do it earlier, and we've seen a few other players do it since.
It's true.
And it is very funny. I also feel like that kill in particular was completely unnecessary. Like, he could have just kept going.
Koi have been here before.
He was like, no, my teammates now
literally like 2 hours ago.
Turn around and showstopper right at them.
Yeah, that was my thought. Why it kind of caught me off guard. First of all, the fact that he got himself, because I thought he was far enough away. Second of all, the fact that he even fired it. There must have been some clear communication to his teammates, like, get back! Because if he fires that in and takes down like 2 guys rushing the smoke, that could be very awkward. But it worked out. They got there in the end. And KC, 5-0. As we said, you know, for Koi, ultis will come online. They used the Rolling Thunder not long ago, but they still have Starzo. Fade ulti online, Shados as well. I don't know how much the Neural Theft will get, but match that up with the From the Shadows on KC. It's not going to be a very ult-heavy round. We're back to the basics. And so far,
Samsung Gut, thank you so much for the 4 months. Appreciate the prime, bro. Thank you very much for that.
The basics.
Yeah, I think also the thing with KC that's made them different to most other teams in this tournament is they actually have been really thriving on their defensive side. Like an 8-4 defensive half versus Vitality, 10-2 versus Foot as well. And okay, they struggled a bit more against Giant X, but every other team I've been sat there going, okay, you'll probably get 9 rounds on the attack, but it's not been the case. And for Koi, well, this map is already looking pretty damning. We're talking about them needing, like, 13-5s or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's not looking very likely, so it probably means they're going to need to go for a 13-0 on the next map, which...
Yeah, I am Sophie.
I think that's even less likely.
Why not do
Bro,
it
it's
now?
huge.
13 in a row. Same thing. Why do something tomorrow you can do today? Well, let's see if Koi can make use of that philosophy.
At the moment, they have to look at trying to win the map. That's a bigger problem, because again, if KC win this map that they're currently 5-0 on,
this is a nice default so far. They're going to prowler across. But the way that KCorp are chilling with so much of this. Because they always play to like push one back over towards here, but the amount of times they get the most out of this trip and they just retake and just can heavy a stack over towards B.
Looking like it's going to come through a little bit labored. And Tomazi there to support. Still Magnum gets one, but Camo and Grabinho have managed to strike at the same time.
I guess teams only had like a day to ante.
Certainly no camos around.
They only had 1 day, and they had to ante 2 teams.
He's holding his ground for now.
Maybe that's why some of the plans haven't been the best.
I guess no intention to play backside, just to try to like, okay, now I don't know what was going on. I don't know what the idea was. Good kills, Camo on his 3rd.
15.
There's a chance. It was a messy round.
They take it, they get the plan as well.
Sure we'll be seeing that one on the Telestrator. Lothar, your choice. But they've won it. They've got it.
That was like a better default from them, though. Still look pretty good from KCorp just because of their positioning in terms of how they want to play an approach over towards A.
The player who's planting the spike, definitely problematic. And to be honest, Shin may have actually been able to win off time. Of course, I think he's hit by the Nightfall, so I don't even think he could hear if the player was going to plant again. And his position completely revealed at the end, so doesn't quite go his way. But yeah, as scrappy as it can get, financially it's putting Koi on the brink, but the same can be said for the other
KCorp,
side.
it's literally just like fight or info. That's it. Fight or info. This time fight over towards B, info over towards A.
But there are 3 players on this side of the map. Showstopper is probably the ult we're going to be looking at.
Dude, everyone's going over towards middle. They're really on top of them. Potentially taking middle, especially as the camera's got info covered. I've never seen the team heavy prioritize here so much, but I kind of like it.
Koi adopting a slower approach.
Definitely works with their comp.
The mid control will be fought for. For a second, I thought maybe Shin was throwing a paranoia, but he's just going to pop a smoke. There's no one ready to fight, really, on the side of KC. This is... I feel like a setup that's
again, Starkzo in charge of pushing this person back over towards A. As we can see, this person doesn't exist.
Try to punish any info taking, and there you go. Human recon dart used up, and even a little bit extra info.
Okay, and then we should just see these guys leave the site because the Rays moved over towards A, so they no longer want to actually fight the site. And what is the rotate on this? Because we need to keep an eye on the fade. It's working really well. Look at all of them. So they lose B control, so they decide to take mid control. No plant at the moment, so they must start to be like, hold up, something's wrong here.
I quite like this from KC. They're putting themselves in a position where they're not going to be able to do anything on the A side.
Their macro is good. Just feels...
Yeah.
I mean, the macro's
he
good,
only fired a
let's be
rocket,
honest.
so understandable that they had their knife out when taking that fight. You know, questionable decision making. I think just a messy round. Again with the raise silent utility. I keep missing that one, Tom.
Yeah, and now they're locked in.
So that trap was broken. Feel free to turn around,
now
Shadow.
what? And dude, they're just so good with the retake in there, and I like this reaction. Like, they lose over towards site, and then they just insta-take middle, then they can fast flank.
The spike still needs to be defused. Nades being burned up at least, so not going to be pushing them out of the corner anytime soon. Now I can throw in the little guy to go for the defuse, buy some time to take some fights, and all three.
Yeah, nicely done. And in these situations, when you have Dubra to defuse like this, you're pretty much going to come out on top.
6-1. KC back on the saddle, and we need to see a little bit more from Koi. Again, almost just frustratingly messy at times from this squad.
I think the thing that is
I'm not even sure. It just looks weird for them. I just think they never play against a team that plays like this.
Camo in onto the site with the showstopper. It pulls the rotations. They have an A site for free, and then I feel like they get caught more trying to catch them on the rotate back than they actually do focusing on what's going on the site.
I feel you, Barbar. Yes, that was actually the appropriate response.
They should probably talk about the fact that they've been able to walk all the way up over towards A. Prowler's never locked in.
On the attack, find that success. They've got rifles again, but still, the problem is KC are building up valuable ultimates. They've not only got Thrash, but a Viper's Pit, as you said last round, Tom, that's still there to be used. And for Koi, it's not even about...
Oh, he baits it out? Man, that's kind of smart. He baits it out to try and bait the nade.
The economy, of KC under control has been done pretty well. Despite a 6-1 lead, they haven't really got credits if they lose this round. So it's not like it's out of their hands yet. They can very quickly close that gap on the side of Koi, but they need to find some opening duels. Starzo at least causing problems with the trap being destroyed.
There's two players around here, though. This is space that is being given and not missed. Nice entry, though, for Camo.
Just
something
straight up individual.
Expertly well is taking fights 1v1 without a lot of utility support. Magnum, though, has been able to trade things back. His one-way cages have just been filthy. Thrash is available.
Thrash goes in.
Someone, but mostly just being used to clear these close angles. And I think
wait, that didn't stun him. I thought that would have hit him.
Quite far enough into
that was close.
Smoke.
Molly might do it though. PP, nice smoke from him to get out of here.
The sound cue. Camo also just hiding within the smoke, lurking.
No way.
Actually, almost catches him while he's trying to pick back up the utility, but instead
and they can relax a little bit. The fish is coming in.
The snake bites forcing them back.
And now what? Whoa, nice on that. The lineup came in.
Every single head.
A little bit of an outlandish close to the round. I think Narrate even tapped the Thrash to try and bait someone into peeking, as he had that gun up extremely quickly. But the fact that you see this lineup in the end, little bro is diffusing and everything, trying to get it across the line, but it's not to be. And for Koi, yes,
it's still not a smile.
It's not a smile. But he seems less frustrated
for a second. But other than that, no smile.
We're getting there.
Do you think a structured team like Eng's coaching makes a team stronger in Valorant, or a more fluid like Loud? Loud are pretty structured. Don't get it wrong. Loud are pretty structured as well. They just have
This is a little unfortunate.
They just
on the back of a trap.
They are a little bit more fluid than KCorp though. The only thing that worries me about that from KCorp, I think like I would like to play against what I'm seeing at the moment, but just because now I've seen like 4 of the, or like 3 of the same map, so it becomes a little bit easy maybe from a anti-strat side.
Somehow Martin has put this in a position where they could actually win this round.
They also have the option to change it up once they've shown a good amount, which could be cool.
Sitting back, but it's an aggressive push. Horn will be broken, but at this stage needs to go for the fight, needs to try and take him out before it's his last bullet.
Close.
But I don't think he has enough time. Starzo just about burning off.
Nicely done. Man, they're like just winning these rounds. We have two 1v1s at the moment. We had a 2v3 for them to close it out.
I don't think that's gotten a smile out of Barbar either.
No.
He doesn't like the close rounds. He's not a fan of them. You can see why.
When your opponent's on eco and it comes down to a 1v1 and the only thing that saves you is time, I'd be a bit worried if he had a beaming smile on his face.
Well, maybe we'll get to see. The fact that, oh yeah. That's a happy man right there. He did, hey, that's kind of a smile. It's kind of a smile.
That's a Mannix.
He looks like he's absolutely losing his mind.
Guy in a white room with a straight jacket on going.
Yeah, he actually does.
That was you watching Liquid yesterday.
Yeah, it was a tough day. It was a very tough day, but we get through them.
The screams were heard throughout the building.
One step at a time. Me and Barbar can have a group therapy session after.
Imagine if you'd had to watch them play 2 games today.
No, I don't think I could have taken that from a cardiac perspective. Koi doing pretty well.
Here we go on the retake on this one, and let's see, dude. I mean, for one of the first times in a while, we see someone play pretty well with this when they go aggro against KCorp. So you would say that Koi are in good positions against this, but let's have a look. Yeah, KCorp handled this one well. We need to keep an eye on the flank. Does this camera get checked? Camera gets checked, they realize one's coming behind. There's a lot of pressure on. That was a great flash. Can they get through these choke points though?
They're going to fight very well for it.
I mean, yeah.
On Camo, he's quickly dealt with. It's only Shados. Blink and you
fair play, man. KCorp handled this really well. Okay, this is good. Their B retake win percentage is through the roof. I know they lost that 2v3 earlier, but they've won it pretty much every other round we've watched them. Maybe a few more sprinkled in.
Rolling Thunder and the Showstopper, if you're to shoot that Showstopper into spawn, because they probably have fallen back in that direction, and then I guess once you don't get anything off it and Tomazi gets a kill, you're trying to just delay, but KC have been very happy to play retake. Look at the scoreboard. They have diffused every single round that they've won. So it definitely seems like maybe holding that just for a little bit longer.
They even had like 2
I feel like Koi are just going to be
massive ults.
Because they get in the afterplant, they have 2
like
really
maybe I would argue that Koi pulled the trigger too fast. Because they did,
KC
but
used nothing. Like they have all
still impressive from KCorp.
Well, the last one they don't have from the shadows is 1 away.
Oh,
wait, this is a nice Viper roll, yeah, with the trip.
But the trap inside it so far away from the Viper.
And he can even hide over towards here. It's really strong, but he wants to get a kill off the trip. So, and the good thing about this, ult is he literally can stay here until the trip gets shot, and then he can go back into the square when the trip's gone. Oh, what?
Somehow he makes that
How is that a headshot?
That's the luckiest thing I've ever seen.
Oh my god. Ripping him apart again.
The hat off his head for sure as Tomazi closes that one out. A clean round for KC. Devastation on the side of Koi.
I don't think that was the player he was aiming at.
No, not quite. Not quite.
The worst thing is as well is I feel like in that moment, Koi reacted going, we have a chance in this round. They use Nightfall.
Show me. Show me.
What the?
I swear he's aiming at his
fastest reactions you've ever seen.
But yeah, they used Nightfall and didn't expect Narrate to still be around that angle. Now, Narrate has been playing around mid almost every single round, so it's quite surprising. He ends up using that, and now they don't have it for this round. No ultimates even remotely close. Koi have used them all over the last 2 rounds, and they barely got anything for them. Now, on the other hand, Showstopper and Thrash.
One last chance for them to get around.
Again, we're going to see this push.
Man, how are they not scared to go and B?
Literally just sat waiting for them to try and go through. This has been such a high pressure point for Koi.
It's I tell you what has been fun though about Sunset at the moment is just every team has a different approach, really. Every team views this map differently, and I think that makes it a good map.
Look how unlikely Camo though, he has been that one glimmer of hope. The one
like
guy who
every team has just a different variation of how they think it should be played.
Them a double opener here. I think there's about to be
that's kind of sick. Wait, that's a double?
He didn't even see the player close. Instead, he takes down another Magnum as also even things up once again. But it's left all onto Narrate. He has the info, has his ult, but while using it here, not going to be easy because he won't be able to move while he's doing it. Would need a spot where
he would love that to hit both
players. Instead, he's wrapping around through the spawn.
It's nice. So much info, but he's actually been blinded. can't even peek the corner just to grab the information. He might
can
have seen both.
send wingman out.
That flank from Starzo is perfect. Timing.
Oh, he's expecting it.
Better.
At least thinking that it could happen.
He's just about dodged him. Up in the corner. Here goes the little guy. But
yeah, Gravina saw the gun.
Perfect.
4?
On the side
I mean,
of Koi.
KCorp did great to get 8, to be honest.
4 rounds found. Tom, it's not over yet. A convincing map 2 with a map 1 win makes it doable for Koi. But they're 4 rounds down at the half. KC already have 8. And the conversation from the desk and from us has been about how this needs to be a clean win.
Well, yeah, I think even from this point onwards, they'd be able to lose something silly like 3 rounds. I think that's genuinely where we're at. So if they lose 3 more rounds in this map, I think they're already, well, they're basically, if they win 13-11, they have to 13-0.
Yes.
That's where we're at. So you can do your own maths from then onwards, but if for Koi to qualify...
That would tie.
Yes. For Koi to qualify, it's bleak. And we're talking about if KC don't win a map. If they win a map, it's done. In every regard, same for Vitality. If KC win 1 map, it is over, and they are 5 rounds away from doing just that. They now go on to the attack side. Koi's defense, well, let's put it this way. Last time they played it, a few hours ago, they were 9-0 down before they got a round on the board. So hopefully they've learned from their prior mistakes. Or for their sake, hopefully KC have a worse attack. Not convinced of that one.
Great flash on the way through. Slide by, but it's okay. No one was there. And Koi are playing this one in a very similar way to what we saw from KC on that defensive side. The full retake setup going to be attempted, stun in already. They attempt to slow down the players backing from sight, and they can catch them by peeking into market so quickly. So they know someone's still stuck on site, but here comes the Dizzy yet again.
Tomazi could definitely win this round.
Everybody on Koi, or at least 3 of them, are below 50 HP, and Narrate's making that look very easy. Camo was full, and he's now being dropped, making it 20 HP in the difference. Good night,
Narrate and pistols though. Guy always gets multis.
1 step closer to sealing Koi's fate.
Yeah, Narrate has been superb. Like we talked about the sort of one America's import. We spoke to Magnum in our interview, and he basically said that this guy played his practices, basically his trials on 100 ping, and was still better than everyone else. And with not a lot of experience playing on Mad Lions, and before that, not a lot, he has looked like a standout for this team. Great pickup, and, well, you expect nothing less from someone like Eng, from Zaysh, both at the helm. A spot in playoffs.
Is he going for an orb?
May not be a thought on their minds, but
it is. He is going for an orb. I actually think he might have got the orb, and that was on the way out, to be honest. Leluko with the whole year. Thank you so much for the prime, bro. Thank you, thank you.
They might be making top 4 first time around, with victories over the likes of Vitality, Koi, if they can close this one out, but also fighting tooth and nail throughout their group. For now, at least, they found the opener onto Starzo, a 10th round looking inevitable. And although we've been talking about round difference, it's getting to the point of irrelevancy, because there needs to be some sort of catastrophic disaster or a massive improvement from Koi once they get that bye round out, because right now, well, I don't blame them. I think they're just looking to die to the spike.
For the next map, Koi will probably just use it as a practice.
The numbers game, the percentage game, even this far behind. 10 rounds on the board for KC. Like you said, Tom, tying it up with Vitality for Koi means winning both. 13-10 here, best case scenario. You're gonna need a pretty convincing map 2. Have a 15-round win difference, plus 15 in this series. That's what they're looking for. Some damage, 1 weapon dropped.
That's worth it though, because that's Narrate having Thrash online.
Dude, every single time I watch this team, I feel like Narrate has a good pistol, and they have official on the 3rd round for their bonus. Like, this is non-stop. Happens every single time this team plays. He has a sick pistol, and then he is allowed to farm up, and then they have an ult.
Well, yeah, there's if there's one simple solution, then if you can find it, I think there's a team willing to pay you a lot of money to come and find those things more frequently, because there's a lot going wrong on the side of Koi right now. And this map, like we said, for KC, picking this, it just makes sense. You just watch them play. You got to sit in the crowd, watch that game, take some notes, and they're not going to change a lot in a couple minutes, are they? Gotta go backstage, eat, pee, and get ready. Oh no, good night. Hello.
Oh my. They clear the whole of the side with the fish as well.
Shadow as well doesn't know what to do to go
So they
forward
send
or
it down
backwards,
middle.
loses some HP to the snake bite, but he might get his reward now.
man.
Peeking around tiles, clean onto Tamazi, who had no idea he was being followed, pursued. As KC
The rate is
get
low
plugged
though.
down.
Imagine he gets
It's
one.
3 versus 3. Some weaknesses here. Narrate in particular, he's got a big rifle, but very low health. But he might just have the timing on the way through. It's going to be checked, surely. Oh, nice shot!
Don't have to imagine on this.
Well. He's made it back around the corner.
He
with
at least
18
discovers
HP.
this
Sure,
to
Shadow
allow
gets him,
that.
but it's ball time
And
for
then,
Shin.
nicely
Now
done
peek
from
back
Magnum.
through.
He didn't
They're
show
not
himself.
expecting another. Surely, there's no way you
And he has a
anticipate
trip as
Magnum's
well.
position. 2 players already from that spot. The defuse being stuck to half now spotted. Magnum
Yeah,
stopped
maybe
it
ran a little bit.
before it even touched the halfway mark. Another jump peek to confirm. And then the kill to close it out
They're
as
all
well.
over them, man. They're
KC,
all over them.
one step closer to victory. This map win will put them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's a lot on
You
this.
were asking if there was anybody you could think of who might have a fix for this. Funnily enough, I think he might be on the KC side. We've talked about Eng and the fact that he hasn't had a team within EMEA for such a long time. Went missing for a bit, went over to Americas, and well, he's brought someone back with him, that's for sure. Sat right at the top of the board.
The contrast between Eng just giving a high five because it's requested, a little write down the notes. Yes!
This man has made it to a Champions final and won a Masters. You think, yeah, top 4.
But now he's 11-4 on Sunset, Tom. Yes!
Yeah.
No, I like Zeiss's energy. I like Eng's brain. Whatever's going on in there.
Yeah, if it's a tie between all 3 teams, even if it's a 2-1, as long as they get one map, they have more maps overall.
There's going to have to be one of the greatest pauses of
So,
all time.
if they win
Not
this, they're
only
through.
Backs against the wall, playing your 3rd map in a row, but also, more importantly, playing a map that, as you said, you literally lost on 2 hours ago and have had no time to fix. Your opponents, in the meantime, had a great showing on it earlier in the day, with a victory versus the team you lost to. Now you've got to somehow come up with a way to come back from 11-4 when they are firing on all cylinders. There isn't a player missing. Like, we've had Magnum have a bad day at the office. He's 14-7 right now. Narrate, wow, don't need to highlight him again.
Do you reckon we can get a Salah cam during this just to see the hope fade from his eyes round by round?
Why do you want that? Do you know what I want right now? I want to see an unhappy Salah. Why?
Sick of seeing him with a smile on his face.
Somehow I reckon that somewhere Gorilla's still giggling to himself.
After some of the plays, I wouldn't blame him.
He's still thinking about Sender running and jumping. He's like, hee hee hee, that was good.
That was a highlight of Sunset for sure. 20 hopping kills now.
Crunch over towards middle.
To try and take control over mid. 4.
Okay, they actually have a camera that gives them so much time. This is what happened in the Vitality game, by the way, where Koi was just like, guys, nothing is working on defense. Just group up as 5 and just walk somewhere.
But they get spotted by
This is exactly the same as what happened.
The element of surprise is
The
a big
timeout came
factor
in when they were
you're
like
defending and
8-0
you're
down
on
or
spot.
something,
And now
and
the
they
element
literally
of
just
surprise
called, guys,
leads them to take
just
down
group
Magnum.
as 5.
So ready for someone to be there. Lovely.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Found B.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. There goes Tomazi. So that's at least the lurks. It puts them in a good spot for the retake. They're now going to know what's up. Everybody over on the other side of the map. No ultimates to play with for the side of KC, so it will take a heroic play to turn this one back around, and they are going aggressive. Looking to try and fight into the spawn. I don't know if the Jiggle Peak will have actually caught them. They've got a cage to try and section them off. Nothing found. Paranoia is going to blind everybody up, but there's no one actually peeking off the back of it. Martin does have a nade available. I don't know if he's going to want to try and throw it in here. He's just waiting for somebody to peek. First shot connected, second as well, and they're just mowing them down. Somehow this has become competitive once again.
What the?
Grubinho finds
How
the
is
kill.
that the kill?
They've, however, left Narrate
5
behind.
HP on this.
If you want anyone in this clutch, it would be this man shot. Misty peeks on the second player, though. And now all that is left is Starzo between them in a 12th round, and Starzo, he's run out of time.
Damn, bro. He plays his situations too well.
They just can't lose.
He plays them way too well.
For KCorp.
Match point.
12-4, and at this stage,
God,
I
EMEA
think
is
the
going to
nail
finish
is
before
well and
America
truly in
starts.
the
Who would have
coffin.
thought?
It could be just a formality for the side of Koi. 8 in a row, double what they already have consecutively. It's a big ask. I think even Blaze and Uli and Uri are giving up at this point.
Oh, never.
Hold on, let me take the headphone off. Can't hear the Spanish casters, isn't that funny? I know how that works. You can hear the French casters,
you remember where
Jesus.
Masters is?
Yeah,
8
I
chances
know.
to close
I'm
this
not
one
making good
out.
life choices, but here we are. Oh, little push. I like it. Starzo, he's not going to lose the confidence despite the fact that rounds have not been going their way. They won't feel shut down. The aggression doesn't see any reward,
KCorp
though.
away
And we
to
can
good
see
top
quite
3
clearly
EU.
that KC were challenging the B site.
I
But it looks like
can't.
they're second guessing it. I'm going to leave
I
this one
just
wide open.
think they look good. Don't get me wrong. They look really, really good. They got a lot of cool stuff.
We spotted the
Do
trap,
I
but
think the
doesn't get
coaches of the
destroyed
other
anymore.
three teams that are in playoffs will have a fun time against this? I think so. Does KCorp change it up
Spot for
in the
Mag.
time? Probably.
Surely you don't expect
How long
Kevin
until
to be here.
semifinals?
No, he does. Oh, but he
Oh my
still
goodness.
wins the fight.
the
What a
hell?
devastating blow. And Starzo's gone too. It looks like they've already started the
3
crumble
days?
on the
Well, they
side
could
of
change it up
Koi
in 3
before
days.
we even see Thrash coming
They don't have
into
to change the
effect.
comp. They just have to change how
Shin's
they
gone
play
to
a little
look
bit
for
to be
info.
unpredictable.
Stun hasn't hit Grabinho at least, and he's able to catch Shin. There's still some life left in this Koi roster. Still
Does this
some
guy always
hope
have an ult?
to be found. Although I think Martin's just
Gonna
about
get
to
another one.
steal away the last sliver of it. That spray
Okay,
is
nicely
clean.
done. They absolutely
KC,
dismantled
they
them
picked up the
again
map.
on this map.
And on
That
the
is
back of that shutdown,
savage map
any
once
hopes
again
and
from
dreams
Koi.
for Koi and
Similar start,
Vitality
and
fans out there.
KCorp now
The rest of this
confirmed
series
into
will be played
playoffs.
out, but the conclusion